Okay.
I'm Stephen Adams. This is Down to Doug. I'm miffed and peeved. That's not the words. What do I say?
Hello, I'm Alex Abrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm about to dunk. I'm not miffed and piffed. Hello, I'm Alex Abrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm down to dunk.
I'm Stephen Adams. I'm not miffed and peeved. I am down to dunk.
Yo, this PG and I'm down to dunk.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to Down to Dunk. This is episode 642. You can find us on CLNS Media, dailythunder.com-radio at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or, of course, anywhere you subscribe to your podcast. This is Jay, and with me today is Andrew.
Who are you? Why do I gotta talk to you?
Who is that? Who are you? Why do I got to talk to you? Play it one more time.
Who are you? Why do I gotta talk to you?
Oh, golly. Took me a minute to
slam through.
That's a shout out to Ethan Strauss. Taylor's on his way. Luke is stuck in Stillwater. The roads are treacherous. And by that, I mean all the ice melted yesterday, but Luke is in Stillwater. But we got a lot to talk about.
Luke committed to stay in Stillwater yesterday morning.
He woke up. It was kind of like Edmond Public Schools where somebody got out of the house at like 5 in the morning. They're like, cancel it. There's ice. I bet somebody slipped. If you're not in Oklahoma City, we had a very light ice dusting a couple nights ago, and the whole city shut down. And anyway, but the Thunder still played last night to cap off. Since we last met with you, they played at Miami and won that game. Went to Boston on Sunday in probably one of the more enjoyable losses I remember.
Yeah,
it was a fun game. And then they came back home, played Orlando on Tuesday, and then played last night against Memphis, or what was left of Memphis, since they only had 10 active roster guys, one of which you knew. Nobody else did you know. Bruno. And then the guy that played for West Virginia that Paul George actually almost fought, which is
he is like the reason the Thunder cared for 3 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, and
Javon Carter. I liked him.
Yeah,
he's not good though.
No, he's not.
He's really
the only
bad.
Shot he made was one where it was like,
that bank shot.
Yeah.
I think I said audibly, "Wow, that's some garbage."
That was horrible. And but what you've seen, especially in the last two games against Orlando and Memphis, is the Thunder are a little bit bored with this part of the schedule.
Yeah.
And with being February, All-Star break is next weekend. And so it's that lull in the season. And they just let Orlando, I think Orlando had close to 70 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Memphis scored, I think, 30 plus in the first quarter.
These games you just need to win and get out.
And they did. And they won both of them pretty handily. Orlando got closer because Terrence Ross kept hitting everything he threw up.
He was awesome and still on the Magic.
I know that. Yeah. So trade deadline was yesterday. Before we get there, I want to tell you about some of our favorite people. Anthem Brewing Company. These guys are the real deal. We've told you about their incredible beer selection. Golden One, Arjuna IPA, or Ouroboros Ride or Die IPA. And they also have a ton of incredible one-of-a-kind beer creations that you can only find at the brewery, which is at 908 Southwest 4th Street in Oklahoma City. But I want to tell you a few things that they're doing currently, and I think you need to know about them. One of them is every weekend in February, they're giving away a percentage of their profits to a local charity, Someday Soon. Someday Soon is a local group helping to get OKC's homeless population back on their feet. Also, and this is kind of cool, I just found this out, but any Thunder home game, they have $1 off every pint from 4 o'clock until tip-off. And if you come to the tap room, have a great time, and don't want to drive to the game, or you don't feel like you should drive to the game, which just as soon as you think that's a possibility, just call an Uber, call a Lyft, leave your car at the brewery, come back and get it after the game. They have no problem with that. They're excited for you to come and partake in their libations.
Or just get yourself a walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that crazy.
It's not that far. I mean, it's...
Maybe a scooter. You could scoot your way over there. But Anthem Brewing Company, just incredible people trying to take care of the city that they are a part of. And they also make great beer.
Bang, bang.
Made on earth by humans for humans. You know, trade deadline was yesterday.
It was.
And it was fun.
There was a lot of trades.
A lot that went on.
Not involving the Thunder. But I mean, when it came down to it, if people like the Thunder are legitimately interested in Taurean Prince, but they just don't like. I don't think they have what it takes to get him.
Yeah, I think that people under or overestimate what the Thunder could possibly give. They can't give a draft pick for like 6 years because
They're not going to.
one of the
give
rules
that.
is every other. You can't give away multiple draft picks in a row, basically, right?
You have to own like one of
Yeah.
your draft picks every other year.
Yeah, and so if you move draft picks in the situation the Thunder are, you'd have to move them draft night. And so,
Yeah.
but so they have seconds they could give away, and I don't really want to get into the details of what seconds they could give away. But then you start looking, and like
They could deal for Prince on draft night
they could,
if they still really want him.
they give him the 21st pick or whatever.
Every
not
impression I
21st.
get is that they still really
What will
want
that be? 27th, 6th pick, first
him. Yeah,
round.
25th pick.
Yeah,
or
something
something
late. So we both are kind of the mindset that I understand the Thunder fan base wanting to get somebody that's new and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I think being on the other side of this, knowing that this team is who they are so far, like I wasn't, and I think we even called this last week, because I wasn't desperate for this team to make a move. There are no real glaring deficiencies that I felt like anybody that could have been had for the resources we were willing to give up was really worth it.
Patterson lost the singlers and is like a productive player now.
Yeah.
And so like that was the spot where I was like, they need to have another, stretch wing, big guy. Like they need somebody to play that power forward spot if Patterson's going to play like he was, but he hasn't for a while. And so where's the need is that they need I think they need one more wing. Because I just don't know who you can count on off the bench.
Yeah, especially if we don't know what Dre's situation,
Yeah,
which I'm still under the assumption that he's just out for the year.
And Dre could be that guy.
Sure.
It's
that'd
possible.
Be a great addition post.
It's
trade
the
deadline.
best addition they could make. And also just what are you willing to give up? Like are you like Hamidou Diallo, like I understand like he is like one of their trade chips, but he's already on a nice, cheap contract. And if he can give you anything in the life of that deal while you have this team, that's so valuable. And he may be a guy that they do eventually deal, just because there may not be a ton of minutes for him. But I just don't. I wouldn't be willing to trade him for just some random guy. I wouldn't trade him for like 2 months of Terrence Ross.
No, and I think that would be very not Sam Presti.
Yeah.
He likes controllable contracts. Obviously, Hami is like he's kind of trailed off a little bit on the excitement level, but dude, we were like legitimately, as this guy is a rotation guy going forward. I think the bigger question that the Thunder are going to have to ask and answer over the next 6 months to a year, and it all depends on what Andre Robertson is when he comes back.
Yeah.
But if Dre is 90%, close to 100% of what he was, which is a huge question mark, and we understand that. I think Dre is the piece that you would look at potentially moving on from sometime this summer. And I hate that. Like I hate injuries being the reason that a guy loses his job. Like I hate all of that. But if you're going to talk about a piece that the Thunder would move, taking cap ramifications into it, taking the future of this team, obviously we found something in Ferguson that is just, he is the guy that the Thunder have been looking for. Sometimes I wish if I knew it was that drop, I would be a little more emphatic with the end of my point. But Ferguson really is. Like, he was incredible. He didn't shoot well in the first half last night, but you watch him, he has been it's gone from past the point of it being like a fluky thing.
Yeah.
To where now it's like, oh, he's legitimately good.
Yeah.
Every shot he shoots from the 3-point line, you think it's going in now.
I did.
It's crazy. He
Yeah.
also had the wildest alley-oop I've ever seen, probably.
Yeah, Russell talked about it last time. He's like, "Yeah, this is a really bad pass."
Yeah,
that's what makes like some of those alley oops like super exciting, is that they have to like reach for it in some strange way, and he had to like reach to the side of him and then throw it in.
Yeah, somebody asked the question last night, and they were trying to. You could tell it was one of those questions where they're like, "I just want to say something, so Russell talk about it," and they said, "Oh, what was better, your pass or Terrence's finish?" It was like Russell's like, "My pass was horrible."
Yeah.
Terrence just grabbed it from like middle of nowhere and put it back down. And anyway, Terrence Ferguson has literally become the bright spot of, that's not even fair because Paul George has been incredible too. He's just been a great accidental, incredible aspect of this team.
He's a
going
great
forward.
starting level player, man.
He really is. Welcome to the podcast, all the way from wherever he lives.
Put your headphones on first,
Guys,
don't skip steps, please.
So sorry, my agent gave me the wrong address. Around the city all morning.
You're
muted. You don't know that because your headphones are off.
Headphones.
But so it was trade deadline, and so I want to talk. We got a lot of questions about this, and so but I do want to talk about. There was a lot of moves and a lot of maybe big moves, and so let's let these Twitter questions kind of drive our trade line discussion.
Twitter questions.
There's a reason why I want you to have your headphones on before I talk to you.
The first question's from @BenElephant King. Was New Orleans trolling the Lakers the best part of the trade deadline?
I mean, were they?
So Brian Windhorst said it on the jump.
I know, but
Who
Brian
knows?
Windhorst is getting his information from Clutch. So,
Absolutely.
like, give me a freaking break.
I know. But what Brian Windhorst said, welcome to the pod, Taylor Dickerson.
I'm so sorry. My agent gave me the wrong address. I've been driving around the city all morning.
Who are you? Why do I got to talk to you?
It's a good one, isn't it?
That is
Um,
a good one.
Also,
Grow up. Yeah, you grow up.
Those are good. The sound quality on those is really good
It is.
ripped it right from the YouTube.
because he was speaking directly into a microphone.
To us.
Is there a question about him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
So the first one is we're talking about the New Orleans basically trolling the Lakers. So what Brian Windhorst said on Jump is he said they were intentionally holding out and getting these best offers in order to try to destroy the chemistry of the Lakers.
Okay. Here's what destroyed the chemistry of the Lakers. Don't give me this Dell Demps is destroying the Lakers crap. It's Clutch and LeBron James. That's what's happening. Anthony Davis, if he doesn't request a trade before this trade deadline, none of this happens. None of it. And you're going to blame Dell Demps for not taking a package that is not as good as Boston's, is not as good as what maybe New York could potentially offer.
If they get the one.
Right. And other teams are talking to them. I just think that is complete BS. Complete BS. The Lakers screwed themselves in this whole thing. That's what I think. I don't think that this is I'm so sad. You gotta give me Anthony Davis. Like, you didn't give him to me, so you're messing with me. It's just so stupid.
It's hilarious now because that implies that like the Lakers thought that like, wait, no, Anthony Davis was definitely supposed to be mine.
Right.
Wait, that was my toy and you're keeping it from me.
Yes.
Therefore, you're ruining my life.
Let me tell you a story about Pau Gasol.
Yeah, right.
And
Exactly.
how the Grizzlies gave us Pau Gasol. Let
When
me show you the
wanted
process.
that, it happened. You don't understand, Pelicans.
Oh, it's so stupid. Hey, Magic Johnson.
Grow up. Yeah, you grow up.
Here's the why did we just make the assumption? Is it Rob Pelinka? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Rob
why-
Lowe. Yeah.
Why did we
Why
Rob Lowe? Why did we assume that him and Magic Johnson knew how to run a team?
do we assume? Yes. I
Yeah.
asked this question last night.
Good,
It's
good
like-
question.
Dude, it's an agent and a former basketball player.
Yeah.
And it is the agent of the agency that their best player owns,
Was he
LeBron
at Clutch?
James.
Was he a Clutch?
Who?
Rob Pelinka.
No.
No.
LeBron. I mean,
LeBron.
you
LeBron.
bring in LeBron. I mean,
Oh, my bad.
Clutch.
I was.
Now I get it.
I asked the question like, why does anyone assume that the Lakers are competent?
Yeah. Like they don't know
They
how
just
to run a
They
franchise.
traded Zubac for
nothing for Muscala,
Muscala, who's white
fourth team
Patterson.
in the last
But
12 months.
why did they do that? Because Zubac was pretty good.
He's good.
We
he's
don't know.
not like he's legitimately good.
And he's been like one of the bright spots.
Yes.
That's what's crazy is they've accidentally drafted well in the last few years.
Yeah.
Right, with Kuzma.
And he was like one of the pieces that could have been in a
Yes.
trade. That was super dumb. That was
We're panicking. We got to get
LeBron
shooting around
control-
LeBron.
This is a LeBron controls what we do trade. LeBron said, "Go get me somebody that can shoot it."
So they
Go
got Reggie
get me
Bullock,
Mike Muscala.
which is what's crazy is last night without any of these guys, they set the record. I think it was the Lakers record for 3-pointers made. They went nuts last night against Boston.
Did you watch the end of that game?
Yes. It was a great game.
It
And
was.
Rondo hit the game winner, and I should have hated it because I want the Lakers to not win.
I want them to be out
I
of the playoffs.
do not want them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
LeBron has made me dislike him, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Rondo hitting that game winner was like pure joy for my soul, man. I have always loved Rondo. Like there were times where I was clamoring for the Thunder to sign Rondo when he was in that kind of, maybe it was the Mavericks era, where
Right.
Where
it's like,
is Rondo a basketball player anymore? But he hit that shot, and then the video comes out later where earlier before the game he was out practicing that exact shot with his son on the basketball court. I was like, that's kind of awesome.
Did you see the 3 that LeBron hit though?
Stupid
to tie the game.
Yeah, he lost the ball out of bounds. Tries to throw it off of Kyrie to go back out of bounds. Contavious Caldwell-Pope catches it, throws it back to LeBron. Great pass. Should not have made the shot and just drilled that 3 to put it ahead.
You just knew that was going.
And then Kyrie hit
a
jump shot or hit a layup as well. That was like, oh my, Kyrie, man.
Kyrie's so good.
God, he's going to be great in LA. I'm just kidding. I think he'll be in New York with Kevin Durant.
Whoa.
Grow up. Yeah, you grow up.
I like that you cut the time between those words too. So it's just grow up. Yeah, you grow up.
I had to.
So
it was a long pause.
We got another question about the Lakers drama. So at fake tweeter 5P says, are any of the Lakers young players actually good, have all-star potential? I get the vibe that they're actually all kind of just gross and people only talk about them because they're Lakers. So I think one of the things that has happened is they went from being like overvalued to probably undervalued. Are they? I think Kuzma's good. I think
Kuzma's
Ball,
okay.
I think Ball has the potential to be good. I think Ingram is the one that are like,
it's because his look is so bad. He needs a friend. Brandon Ingram needs a friend so bad.
Someone that says, shake your head.
Dude, look at yourself, man. You've taken this too far. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to change it now.
I think
it looks so bad.
I think people are properly rating them now after the trade didn't happen because everyone was like, look at all these very good players for Anthony Davis. How could you say no to this? And then they said no. And then everyone's like, well, maybe they aren't like that good. And it is Anthony Davis. And it's like they're pretty good, but it's Anthony Davis.
Well, and one of the worst things that could have happened for the Lakers is that stretch where LeBron got hurt and they were like 6-11. It was like, Pelicans, this is your team.
It was the tryout.
Right.
Yeah, it was their tryout, and they failed because they're just not that good. And they weren't last year. And it's like they could get better. Like
sure,
these guys
they're young.
They're all
Ingram's 21.
Yeah. They can all get better. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're all not going to be all-stars. Like maybe one of them's an all-star. But right now, like that's not a good enough trade package.
For the guy who's been carrying your team and like last year you went to the playoffs and you swept the Portland Trailblazers in the first round.
Which I think was the moment that maybe changed. Like I think that we all assumed that the Pelicans would be better based on that one series. Like that was just kind of like the stars aligning with
that they'd be better this year.
Yeah, I think we had an expectation.
They
for
struggle
the
with health.
They always have, forever.
Yeah,
I mean, you remember when Eric Gordon was there? Eric Gordon was never healthy. Like it was him,
and that's been talked about.
And then he left New Orleans, has been healthy pretty much ever since.
Well, it's been talked about a lot that they don't invest in anything with that team. Like it's just a crap franchise, and the reason guys can be healthy when they go away is because they have like the amenities that every other NBA team has.
They get stretched before games and they have massages and but any other. So I have one more question. Whose locker room? This is from at Katie Luhu. That's pretty good.
Oh, it's my wife.
My wife. Is
that really your wife?
My wife.
Whose locker room is going to be more awkward, the
that?
Lakers or the Pelicans? Yesterday, Dell Demps came out and said that they're going to be, and I don't know if the NBA jumped in, but he kind of hinted to the fact that the NBA wanted them to like, all right, you got to play Anthony Davis the rest of the season. So, but the Pelicans are going to have Anthony Davis on the floor whenever they play next, tonight maybe.
It's the Pelicans to me, no question. Because the LeBron's just gonna be like, everybody shut up and play,
and they did.
Right? Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
LeBron controls that whole thing. Like you don't think they're gonna stop and just be yes sir. You know, like that's I think that it is kind of it's a messy situation, certainly, but the Pelicans is super awkward because you have their very best player and maybe their best player in franchise history, who they're like, we don't really want to play him. Then the league's like, you have to play him, and he's like, yeah, you have to play me, and they're like, ooh,
we don't know what to do,
and like everybody knows he doesn't want to be there. Everybody knows that he tried to force a trade to the Lakers.
Do you think Anthony Davis walks in the locker room today and he's like, man, that's pretty messed up, huh? Like trying to buddy with you. And they're like, yeah, AD is kind of messed up. He's like, yeah, it really sucks, man, huh? Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's just get out there. We're brothers, man.
Just want to make the best of this,
Yeah, it's like we don't have a lot of control, you know?
And it sucks for the Pelicans because they don't want to win.
No, it would have been better for them to not.
So
I don't know if Drew Holiday's going to let them be as bad as they want to be, though. That dude is just like,
he's super good, man.
he is. He'd be great somewhere else next year. I think that, obviously this summer is going to be the summer that the Pelicans become somebody very different.
Very different.
Like they'll move Holiday and I'm assuming they're going to move them both this summer.
Trade Kyrie.
Maybe.
Trade Kyrie. Get back AD and Drew Holiday. Keep it moving.
Well, they can't now. Kyrie's a free agent.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Next question. It's from Matt.
I literally get confused every time.
The next question's from Dakari Sanchez. Out of the following players, there was a lot of other actual things that happened yesterday or the last few days. But out of the following players, these are kind of three of the bigger names that got traded. Who will make the biggest impact on the new teams? Marc Gasol, Tobias Harris, or Harrison Barnes? So let me expand that question just a little bit.
Okay.
What trade moved the needle the most for you yesterday or the last few weeks?
I do think
Juicy.
I think the Mirotic deal is super impactful.
If he can stay healthy, which he's out of New Orleans now.
They basically traded Thonmaker, McCurr, however you want to say it. Yeah, I'm going to say it in a way that doesn't make me uncomfortable. Thonmaker.
You sounded like Kim Jong-un from Team America. Wait, is it ill? Kim Jong? Who was first? Who's the dad?
I don't know.
Ill. Yeah, I think that
Illmatic.
they basically just added Mirotic to their roster
For nothing.
Yeah.
For nothing.
So I really think that that's a super impactful deal because I think they needed another guy. They need more shooting, and they got that. And Mirotic, I think that's a huge deal. I think Tobias Harris, I still don't know how that's going to work with that team because it's a little clunky, but they have so many offensive weapons now. Like I think a lot more of the Sixers today than I did prior to the trade deadline. I think that team is going to be great. Marc Gasol is interesting too.
Yeah, I wonder how, I'm super intrigued to see how Toronto uses them. Like, what do they do? They've been using Serge a lot at the starting center in Pascal Siakam.
He had 33 points last night.
I know, dude. The dude's probably legitimately good.
He is good.
I don't think. Yes, he is good. I don't think anyone said he's not good. It's just the other part. It's how good he is.
So do they go back to Serge off the bench?
I would.
Absolutely, I would too.
I don't think Serge is a power forward anymore.
So let me run through a few of these trades.
Yeah,
while we're talking. Is that all right?
Run.
So you've got the one. This is an odd one, and the Wizards kind of threw up the white flag. Traded Otto Porter for basically nothing from the Bulls.
Yeah.
Which I don't really care about that trade, but
that's gross, man. That's super gross.
The Zards made just enough moves. I don't know. It's like you just, if you're going to tear it down, tear it down.
I mean, they can't really.
Yeah.
You're not going to trade Bradley Beal.
No. This is the only guy would keep. Literally everybody else I'd move for whoever wanted something. And maybe you just can't.
Yeah, but then who else? Like they traded Markieff. They traded Otto Porter. Who else are you going to trade?
Where's Markieff now?
Well, he's
a free agent.
He's a free agent. They're waving him. The Pelicans are releasing him.
He's a clutch man.
He's a clutch man. He's going to Lakers. Cool.
Well, they only have one spot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that spot's reserved for Mr. Carmelo Anthony.
I know. It's very exciting.
All right, then you had Dallas. Dallas did a lot of stuff, but a lot of theirs was, Harrison Barnes. They kind of retooled their whole roster a little bit. So got rid of Harrison Barnes, Dennis Smith Jr., obviously, and Jordan and Matthews for Kristaps Porzingis. And the Kings.
The Kangs, man.
The Kings had Harrison Barnes, which I really like.
Yeah, it's a nice deal for them.
Yeah, and they have kind of the intention to hold on to him for a while. The other one that obviously matters to Thunder fans is Houston got the Thunder killer Iman Shumpert.
Yeah,
they finally got rid of Brandon Knight's contract, which I don't know why people keep doing favors for Houston, but whatever. It's like they just gobbled up like Brandon Knight's. Well, they gave away. I mean,
they got a pit. They
2 seconds. Three seconds and 1 first they gave up over the last week.
Yeah, they did. That's why someone.
Yeah.
That's why they took it on.
Yeah, but Brandon, it's just
Cleveland took it on. Like Cleveland, like what are they doing? Like they're doing the right thing with their cap space.
Yeah.
Is
take up, get picks.
They're going to get
gobble
picks
players
for cap space.
So, what does Shumpert do for you in Houston?
I don't know. I know Shumpert's looked awesome. He's an upgrade for them. I just don't. I'm not a fan of that Houston team. So
I agree.
They also traded James Ennis.
I don't think it does a lot for them.
There's no way
James Ennis kind of sucks,
to
man.
the 76ers.
Yeah.
No, James Ennis could be like
He'll be a great
80%.
He'll be a great 10th guy for the Sixers.
Yeah, he'd be a great guy that sits on
Sixers
the,
also got Jonathan Simmons and one
Yeah.
of the other kind of significant trades when they traded Markelle Fultz to Orlando.
Yeah.
So basically, the Sixers
loaded up on
traded
all of like the weird wings.
Yeah.
They did, and they traded all their players that they either didn't or couldn't play that much.
Yeah. I saw this on Twitter that the Sixers traded the number 1 pick in the draft for a guy that had to pay $150 to try out for the Spurs.
The Clippers were big movers this week.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
traded away Mike Scott, Tobias Harris, and Boban to the Sixers, which they had to have done them a favor to trade Boban and Tobias together.
Bobby and Toby, man.
Bobby
And
and
Gortat, right?
The Gortat they just released, or they're
Oh.
going to release, or buy
Yeah.
out, or whatever. And then they also traded Avery Bradley to the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
So they got Wilson Chandler, Zubox. They got Jermichael Green, Garrett Temple, and a couple other guys and first-round picks. So there's another team that's they got 2 first-round picks, one that probably will convey as a second round, another second round. Like, Clippers look like they're actually running like a well-managed team, kind of.
Yeah.
They kind of conceded, I would assume, that they're going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're opportunistic.
Yeah. So
You
take
know.
advantage of it.
Yeah.
Then you obviously got the Lakers, Muscala, Reggie Bullock. Memphis added a bunch of players that don't matter.
What is Memphis doing? Like, someone explain it to me.
They don't know.
I think they're giving up. I think they're finally giving up.
Yeah, but not well. They're
Yeah.
not giving up well.
You're right.
They didn't get a
They're like-
first-round pick for Marc Gasol.
That's wild.
Masai Much just been like, nah. Do you want Jonas?
No,
no,
want
I don't
Jonas
want Jonas,
Valanciunas?
but I guess we'll take him.
They're gonna
What a
learn.
bad trade.
They're gonna learn he's had 3 hip replacements.
Nonsense, man. It literally is nonsense.
I mean, they got to really, really like DeLon Wright.
Weird.
Otherwise, I just don't know. Because CJ Miles makes $8 million next year. 8. Why did they do that?
I don't know. Kings also got Alec Burks,
They did.
he's a guy.
Yeah. Blah.
Toronto got Marc Gasol. That's the other one. And then Washington, Bobby Portis and Jabari Parker. And
That trade is so gross, man. And I don't know, like, why did Chicago do that? One, we want to tie up our cap space on a guy that's pretty good that might put us in
Garpax,
the
man.
middle of the lottery.
Garpax has no idea what they're doing.
It's so bad.
There are a lot of teams that don't know what they're doing.
But that even for the Wizards though, it's like
Both teams.
what is that?
Both teams don't know. They just call each other, "Hey, we heard that it's trade season."
Wizards are getting off money, it seems like, right?
Yeah, we need more media attention.
The other thing,
Yeah.
Any attention is good
Yeah, but you
attention.
trade for Jabari Parker?
I know. He's got 1 year though. He's done after this year.
Yeah, I know. I get it. It's just whatever.
So Portland added Rodney Hood, and the only reason I mentioned that is he had
Yeah.
a fantastic game last night. But I don't know.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm looking up this final stat line. He started out like 4 of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Love seeing that Rodney Hood fool's gold.
So who moves
really
the needle?
is.
So going back to the question, Marc Gasol, Tobias Harris, Harrison Barnes. You said probably Mirotic.
I like
is the one.
Mirotic a lot.
I like Tobias Harris on the
Yeah.
Sixers.
I really like it on the Sixers. But I'm with you. I don't know how that's going to fit because now all of their starters need they all need about the same usage. You know, maybe Embiid needs a little more. Ben Simmons is going to get it.
Yeah.
JJ Redick needs shots to be valuable at all. Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris are they play the same way.
Yeah,
right?
Tobias is bigger.
He's bigger.
He's bigger,
So you
but
could
they
run
both
him more.
kind of need the ball in their hands a little bit too.
Yeah, I feel like Tobias at
Tobias
least.
less.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like
Mhm.
Tobias can at least be kind of the guy that, Ben Simmons gets to the middle, kicks it out to the
He's been
corner.
great.
There's Tobias.
Yeah.
Hits like Tobias isn't one of those guys that's a ISO player like Jimmy Butler is, who's really between Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid are the two guys. I thought it'd be crazy funny if the Sixers turned Jimmy Butler into something at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
But go get those 4 picks from Houston and Brandon Knight.
Yeah. That'll really help you with a playoff run.
But I think it's just one of those things where Elton Brand just going by the thing where it's like, we'll amass the talent.
Yeah.
And then we'll work everything else out.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get that idea. I don't know. Elton Brand's another one of those guys like, why do we just assume he knows how to run a team?
I don't know.
He hasn't made a mistake yet.
He's not as bad as Colangelo. So.
He did trade Markelle Fultz for a bad first round pick and
a guy who paid $100.
That's not like
the tryout for the NBA.
The Markelle Fultz thing is so weird though, because it's not like he's another player where it's like, why would you not give him another year or two? He might turn out really good. There's some other circumstances.
Yeah.
In this case that are like, I understand why you just want to.
It's a weird
Let's
one.
just
man.
go.
It's
Let's
super
just
weird.
move on.
Yeah.
We've stretched this out too long.
But I will say this: Markelle Fultz still was the guy that everybody was consensus.
Oh yeah,
number one over Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, like.
Yeah, but that was before he is like schizophrenic or
whatever it is, has shoulder problems. All right, well, this next question from @JT Blunt or Blount 2. What was the trade deadline like before Twitter and the internet? I imagine people turning on the TV to watch a game and wondering where all their players went. I think people just watched it. Nobody was as into it as they are now, obviously.
No.
You'd read the paper.
You'd read the paper in the morning.
I actually
telegraph.
I do remember reading the newspaper for free agency news.
Yep.
Like legitimately.
It's wild.
Back in the day, I would pick up the USA Today.
Wow.
To look at the trade, any trades or free agency signings. Yeah, it's weird. I would just refresh ESPN's website. That's what I used to do before Twitter, before I had a Twitter account.
Yeah, or you
like
get
in
on
college.
Like I remember having to watch ESPN for like I didn't know what was going on in the sports world until they told me about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could listen to the radio too. I was in the car listening to the radio yesterday.
Dude, this wasn't that long ago because I even remember with the Perkins trade, we were all watching like Sports Center.
I was on Twitter.
I was
actually on Twitter at that point.
Oh,
Yes,
you were?
I remember.
You were?
Yes.
Yeah, because it was like the first, but it was like, I'm not kidding. I was on Twitter probably like
it was one of the
months before.
It was one of the first trade
Twitter
deadlines.
was just getting.
It was the first
going.
trade I remember the Thunder making where I was like, I was elated at that point because you got to remember, like it was Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol, like that's who everybody was trying to beat was those Lakers teams, and you're like, we got a center, yes,
yeah,
and it's not Kirstich,
yeah,
and that was the first one, and then obviously the second one was when I was sitting at the OU Notre Dame game and OKC traded James Harden.
What?
Next question.
Who are you? Why do I got to talk to you?
All right, I thought this is a good question. This is from @Ben_Burke10. When Woj says league sources say, is that coming from NBA people or people from specific teams like Presti? Also, what is the best fried chicken in Oklahoma City?
That's coming from agents, right?
More than likely.
Woj is working with agents.
He has connections in the franchises as well, I'm assuming.
It's people within the franchise, it's agents, it's other players probably. I mean, the amount of contacts that he has is tremendous. So
I mean, that's what made his career.
And yeah, he's I mean, you do a favor for a team, like say, hey, can you tell me what so and so is thinking about whatever? Like, yeah. And I'll give you some information about whatever. So
but he also will leak information if a team's trying to control something or an agent's trying to control something, like this whole AD stuff.
And now like people just go to him. Just like if I want to get some information out there,
Isn't that crazy?
I'm just gonna go to Woj.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So also, what is the best fried chicken in Oklahoma City?
I mean, you have to go outside of Oklahoma City.
Ishins
but
is
it's
still it,
Ishins.
right?
Yeah.
I
Other
can't
than
think
that,
of
what
it
else would it be?
Chicken and beer down on 23rd.
They're pretty good.
Heard it's pretty good.
I haven't had it.
Nashbirds.
I've heard that's very good.
Never had it.
Ishins.
I went to Ishins. I went to Ishins this past weekend.
It's good,
It's
man.
great, man.
It is really good.
Super good.
You put hot sauce on your chicken?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What kind of hot sauce do they use?
Just Louisiana.
That's the best
They
hot
have
sauce.
they have a little packets.
It's great. They do.
Are
have
you
packets.
kidding me?
They have.
That's
so
my
here's what
favorite hot
Ishins-
sauce.
If you
Favorite
don't know what
hot sauce,
Ishins is, it's in Okarche, Oklahoma, which is probably.
If you don't know
30
where
minutes west.
Okarche is,
It's about 30 minutes west of Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
it's by
And,
Okmulgee.
it's by Kingfisher. But if you don't know,
It is not.
It is by Kingfisher.
It's not that. I mean, it's closer to what's the town? There's
New
a s-
Kingfisher.
No.
Yes. You go through Okarche to get to Kingfisher.
Jay.
You're thinking of Bull Cookie.
Yeah.
Piedmont. It's close to Piedmont-ish. Anyway, so but you go there and you order like, all right, what do you want? Whole chicken? Cool. Okra? Cool. What
Yeah.
else? Frito chili pie? Cool. Nachos? Cool. And they bring out and they have just like wax paper or whatever on
Yeah.
there, and they just throw it on your
Wax paper
freaking
squares.
table. And
Yeah.
they're like, over there's your station where you can get ranch and hot sauce and forks and all
Yeah.
of that.
It's all
basically-
plasticware. They throw it all away.
It's incredible. They literally just roll up the paper, throw it away.
Yeah.
Seems wasteful.
It is kind of
It's
wasteful,
extremely wasteful.
but it's delicious. Last question about trade season. Would Nate Duncan, NBA, trade his own mother for cap space? This is from @ChristianReese _
No question. It's a great use of resources.
He loves cap space.
Do you know
Loves
how
cap
much
space.
better his life will be if he had cap space instead of a mom?
So much better.
Yeah. It's much more nurturing cap space.
Mm-hmm. It's not what cap space literally does. It's the symbol of cap space. You know what I'm saying?
It's extremely
That is so
comforting.
liberating. That's one of the most liberating symbols you can have in your life.
Which is the
Yeah.
dumbest thing ever
And cash
about that.
considerations.
Oh my
About
gosh.
that take for me is like, not every team's going to get good free agents.
No, like maybe 2.
There were a lot of teams that had cap space in 2016.
There were a
And-
lot.
And
Yeah.
Otto
And
Porter,
and-
Otto Porter
and-
makes $24 million,
Right.
whatever it is.
It's more than that. And luckily,
Alan Crabb made $18 million.
right, the entire Miami Heat roster
Yeah,
makes
Tyler Johnson, who now plays for the Suns, made $20 million.
50 million.
Tyler Johnson, who
Guys.
threw up when he got his contract offer.
why did somebody pay me that?
He did.
I know. It's crazy.
He said that. I mean, it's Luckily, 2016 won't happen again.
Ever.
The market has corrected itself.
And they'll smooth the cap if it ever has a bump like that again. All right, we got
They
some
will.
more. These are more kind of less trade and more Thunder specific questions. This next one's from @Stiegleader Smith. Stiegelder. There we go. Stiegelder Smith. Any chance we sign Kanter? Anybody want to jump in on this?
no,
Thunder aren't going to sign Kanter.
no, they won't.
Like it would be a purely like we love him, bring him in, move, and I don't know why they would do that. Kanter's not going to play, and I had a lot of people who were asking me like, "Well, what happens if Adams and Noel get hurt?
Then the Thunder are screwed.
Then your team's screwed."
I could also say, what happens if
Russ
Adams
Schroeder
and
get
Noel
hurt.
and Kanter get hurt when we trade for Kanter?
We need to sign. So what you're saying is we need to sign Kanter and Greg Monroe.
Yeah, but what happens if then Greg Monroe got hurt?
But it really is like it just doesn't make sense. I don't know if Kanter will find a landing spot.
He will. He will.
Where? Just some team that wants to.
I don't know.
He should go to Memphis. Great, you do great in Memphis.
He'll land somewhere. Boston is apparently interested.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as long as Baines is hurt, but he just can't stay on the floor. Kanter can't stay on the floor. I guess he's
In the
just
playoffs, no,
he's an
but like in
82
the
game
regular
guy, right?
season, you can play him.
You're
in
right.
The regular season.
Feels like there's something a little nefarious going on behind the scenes with the NBA. I think the Turkish government's kind of
got
getting
control of Adam
involved
Silver.
here. Yeah.
Jay.
You're probably right. @Bangelope
They're controlling Jay.
is asking questions.
What the?
Yeah, Kanter. Dowie Kanter.
Pledge your allegiance.
No, I love Kanter and the nation of Turkey.
I mean, just remember the last
and the great president Erdogan of Turkey.
the last like impression of Enes Kanter here, and people forget this, is Billy Donovan saying to one of his assistant coaches, "We can't play Kanter," and
in
getting caught
Houston,
on
like,
TV.
we can't play Kanter. God, what a horrible moment.
Can't play, and now that's like a nickname for him. Can't play Kanter. So he would love to be on the Thunder again, and maybe he will be at some point, but he doesn't fit the identity of this team. So there's just no way.
No, you would never give Noel's minutes to Kanter.
Can't play Kanter.
All right, we got a few more questions about the East. @Bangelope asked predictions for the top 4 seeds in the East in what order. So let's do that one, and then the other one is from @BradZillyYo, who's asks who is the worst matchup in the East for Golden State. So why don't you guys take that question? I'll be right back.
Okay. So the order, and I don't really want to give the order of how are they going to finish, because I don't think that's quite as interesting. But I think just like your top, if you were to rank the top 4 teams
right.
in the Eastern Conference, who would it be? So the best four: Milwaukee, Toronto, Philly, Boston.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
How would you rank those?
And this is in the context of going against Golden State in the finals, right?
Well, we can talk about that too. But who are the best?
Gosh dang it! I would go Milwaukee.
Oh, number one.
Yeah, Milwaukee number one.
Why?
I just feel like their team has been so consistent all year around Giannis. Like, I know what their identity is, and they seem to have just added to that. They're not changing anything.
Yeah.
They're just getting a little better. So they've been the most consistent, and they have the best identity out of everyone. 2, I'd go 76ers just because it's hard to deny that talent. Baby.
Wow.
It's a lot of talent on the team.
Yeah, they got
3,
some talent.
I'm going Toronto.
Yeah.
And then 4, I'm going Boston.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wowie woo wow.
I'd probably go Toronto 1.
Okay.
I think that they're probably the biggest threat to the Warriors. They got Kawhi Leonard. He's tough to deal with.
Right. And now they have Marc Gasol. I understand that can be a very big deal. And you know what's funny is if you think about Golden State before KD, they would – do you remember that series? I think it was second round series against Memphis. And they were like the only – and it was 2-2 at one point.
Yeah.
It was like, what is going on? And there's just something about that. And if Marc Gasol can bring whatever that was – in a series against Golden State,
he won't be able to do that, but he can he can shoot it, he can pass it. He's a good locker room guy.
He's smart.
I think he's going to be great for them, and so I think Toronto to me is
brings a lot of
number one still. And
Jay, number one in the East, Toronto.
He thinks they're the best team in the East. Yes,
better than Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Milwaukee's beat him twice.
I mean, I don't just take
you're right.
Regular
You're
season,
right.
I don't take a lot.
So you're kind of answering at the same time, like both who's top 4, but also who would be the best team against the Warriors.
Yeah. I think the biggest threat.
I think I agree.
What about Philly?
I just feel like Philly doesn't have enough time.
I feel like Philly will not get out of the East. Like I don't think they'll win the East.
I don't think
but
so.
I think they would be a team that would give the Warriors some fits, just because they can. I mean, defensively, I don't know. They got a big. I mean, I guess Cousins. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, maybe. I would probably say Toronto, Milwaukee, Boston, Philly.
Really, you hate Philly
just because of the time.
Yeah, I don't love the fit. I really and I think Philly's good. I think they're going to be super good. I just don't love the fit.
Yeah, they're not as good anymore. They traded Shamit.
Oh, shame it. If they get
shame it.
If they can get it all together, great. I think they upgraded their team. I just don't like them as much as these other teams.
I think they're going to be better in the playoffs. Like, I think that's a kind of team that Embiid can just have the ball a lot more. Like Jimmy Butler can just have the ball a little more. Yeah, starters are going to be playing more minutes.
How do they close games? That's my question.
Like who's on the floor?
Like what? Like you last shot.
I think you've just got to go. I think they've got to choose Embiid. I think they've just got
for
to
last
Embiid.
shot though. It's hard, man.
It's hard for a big.
Like,
but this is a big.
If you need a bucket, if you need a bucket, and you have 38 seconds left on the clock, then you can throw the ball in and let him post up or let him isolate. But if there's like 8 seconds left, you're not going into Embiid.
And you just triple team him.
Yeah, and then but now you have.
But he's a good passer too.
Who?
He's
Butler?
fine.
Are we talking Butler or Embiid?
I thought we were talking about JJ Redick.
Yeah, sorry.
We're talking about Tobias Harris.
This discussion is why. Like Toronto, who has the ball at the end of the game?
Kawhi Leonard.
Kyle Lowry.
Oh wait,
Marcus All.
Marcus All. Yeah,
it's Kawhi Leonard. No
who
question.
has it for Milwaukee? Giannis.
Who
has it for Boston? Kyrie.
And Giannis, like that's why I don't have them number one. Because
who has it for Oklahoma City? Paul George.
I mean, the Thunder showed everybody here's how you defend Giannis.
Yeah, but nobody has done it since then.
But okay, you have to have the right pieces to do it.
Sure, you have to have Jeremy Grant.
The Thunder do, and so do the Warriors.
True. But yes, and it's unfair because it's regular season. Nobody gives a season, but the Bucks have gone into there and smashed.
Cool.
I know.
Great.
All right, so Toronto is the Andrew take. Are you kind of with him?
No,
No,
said
he's like way off from me.
You're like Orlando.
Well, first of all, I asked, is this in context of against Golden State? And then we said, no, just do the top 4 in the East. And then I did that. And he's like, but Toronto's better against Golden State.
What's the question?
It's the same
Damn
answer.
it.
It's the same answer both ways for me.
Okay, that's true.
Damn it.
I think I agree with you that if it were like a playoff series,
You take Toronto.
I think I agree with you that they match up with Golden State better.
Yeah.
Than the other teams.
And you have a bunch of guys at this point now that have pretty, I mean, that's a lot of playoff experience.
Who'd you pick to come out of the East?
Toronto. You're right.
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
may
be
not
mad.
be
I
right.
think
but
Boston,
Milwaukee's,
dude.
it's too early for Milwaukee. I think they'll have, they're just not ready. They're great. They're a great regular season team. They're probably
Yeah.
like those Hawks teams, right? Great
Could be.
regular season
Yeah.
team won't be able to beat,
But
the
why?
big
But
dogs.
why? It's been like far enough into Giannis's career that they should be really good in the playoffs now.
Yeah.
And like they have a
I don't know,
good
man.
team.
Yeah,
Has
They have a
Giannis won a
good
playoff
team.
series?
I don't know.
I don't think he has.
I think last year maybe, but
No, he did not.
he did not. That's what I meant. Last year he did not.
They played the Celtics in the first
So
round.
then I'm assuming. I mean, he's still pretty young, isn't he?
No, he's like 33.
Oh my
He's about-
gosh!
Yeah.
No,
he's the same age as Marc Gasol.
He's super young. Oh, I was looking this up today. Did you know that Buddy Hield is only 7 months younger than Harrison Barnes?
That's crazy.
Wow.
7 months.
Also, what's hilarious is that question you asked a while ago of those 4 players when you said Tobias Harris or Marcus Gasol, whatever, and then you said Harrison Barnes, and I was like, not in the same category.
I know, right?
Not really the same tier as these other
Yeah,
guys.
definitely not.
Really?
Like all-star Harrison Barnes, all-star. Yeah.
And
All right.
I mean, Marc Gasol, like if he's your 3rd or 4th best player,
Dude, they're pretty loaded, man.
Dude,
and they can play,
Dude.
they can play any style.
dude.
They can play against any team.
Yeah.
They don't have like a.
You want
this
to slow
is-
down and go big?
This is
We
the
can
only
go
way we
big.
can play.
We
Yeah.
go big, homie.
Yeah.
They can, and Mark's just he's just a unique player. Like he plays that Euro style ball, and it just is going to fit what they want to do.
He's great.
It's going to be good.
Also,
They'll be fun to watch too.
congratulations, Raptors! You finally traded Jonas Valanciunas.
Yes.
in a trade that
You just
benefits
you
you.
just had to find the right dumb team to take
Oh
on
my
this
God.
contract.
You've been trying to trade him for probably 4 years now.
What's funny is the Toronto Raptors tweeted,
Oh my
"I'm
God.
back with Valanciunas because he's coming back from his hand injury. The Draymond Green
I'm
broke
back.
his hand.
See you later
I'm back
in Memphis.
I'm back.
They're the worst social media team
Toronto.
because they did.
Raptors?
Yes, they did that, and they also did the Coach of the Year thing after they fired.
Didn't they do something with DeRozan too? No,
oh,
Dwayne Casey. You're right.
Dwayne
That's the
Casey?
one.
Yes,
Or maybe they're the best.
maybe.
or maybe they're the
No, New
ultimate
Orleans
team.
Pelicans has the best social
They're
media.
the
right now.
best.
They're just like dragging the entire NBA.
They're just tweeting like one emoji at a
I
time.
know. They're just brilliant.
It's pretty great.
All right. Next question from @BenElephant King. You can pick one team to not make the playoffs: the Rockets, the Jazz, or the Lakers. Who do you choose?
Rockets. Are you kidding me?
Lakers.
The Jazz.
Oh man.
What?
What?
Guys, if the Rockets aren't in the playoffs, we don't have to play the Rockets in the playoffs.
That's who you're most nervous about?
I'd rather beat the Rockets in the playoffs.
I would be more nervous about playing the Jazz and the Lakers in the playoffs.
Really?
I'd be
Not the Lakers for me. I think that would be pretty.
Dude, I don't know. LeBron, like literally LeBron. You don't know what they look like with LeBron. I mean, the dude wins, man.
I know.
I'd be terrified of LeBron.
Now, I think the Thunder are the better team.
Yeah.
But I also
They,
thought,
I mean, they are.
I mean,
the better
they should be the better team of all three of these. And all of them, it's like separating, like, I'd be 8% or 8 on a level of 10
Mhm.
anxiety for the Rockets, and 8.5 for the Jazz, and like a 9.5 for the Lakers.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just LeBron, man. He just changes the whole play. I mean, he drugged those. Now it's the East, and they're not very good, but he drugged that crap Cavs team all the way to the finals and almost won a game against the Warriors.
When was this?
And he willed that win last night
Yes.
in Boston.
Although Kuzma hit the
Okay, you're right.
Enormous three.
I forget about LeBron.
like we all
I just
do.
have like literally no competitive respect for this Lakers
I
team
know.
this year.
I know. Well, in the Rockets, there's a 100% chance that James Harden will be exhausted and Chris Paul will be hurt.
It's true. Actually, yeah,
it's
you're
like-
right. Get the Jazz out of here.
Get the Jazz out of here.
The Jazz,
I
I mean,
have PTSD from that series.
for real, man, that was exhausting. And Salt Lake City,
Like, and everybody
Ew.
was so
I love
good.
this city.
Everybody was so good for that team in that series. That was like peak.
yeah, Rubio
Jazz.
was insane.
Remember how good Ricky Rubio was? I'm like,
What's
ugh.
crazy though is if the Thunder would have won Game 6, they won the series because Rubio
Yeah.
got hurt,
Right. Donovan Mitchell
which would have
just
been
freaking killed the Thunder.
not ideal. Like, to go another series, like who knows what happens?
Oh, it was the
with
best.
Melo
It was
and-
the best thing for the team. Honestly, it gave them all the room because it just really pissed Melo off that he had to sit. It was great. It was honestly the best. One of the best losses in franchise history in a playoff series was against the Jazz because
Yeah.
it forced them to do everything they did in the summer.
When
Yeah.
they break you, they make you.
And also, Paul George felt like he had unfinished business.
I know that was nice.
What if he had finished business?
Gross.
Has anybody ever said that?
No,
Man, I've got
I've got finished business here, which means I'm moving. I'm
I
done.
just got some finished business.
Not because you've done,
Next-
like you're done. You moved on to the next unfinished business.
Next question's from
I
@Squad.
still got
There's always unfinished business. in a
Next
group.
question is from @SquadCast580. Current Jeremy Grant or peak Ibaka? What year was peak Ibaka? How do those two compare?
Who's Peaky Baka?
Peak Ibaka.
Oh, it's a show on Netflix, I think.
Oh yeah, Melika Peaky Baka.
Peaky Baka.
I mean, I think Ibaka was a better overall player at his peak.
Peaky Baka was so good, dude.
I loved Peaky Baka.
But the
Peaky
hard part,
Ibaka?
the hard part was Ibaka was 30 when he came to the Thunder. and stuff.
Right. No, he was.
Jeremy Grant, I think, will be better than Serge.
I mean, yeah, recency bias says that.
Dude, he is good now.
He's super good. He's
And
super
still
good.
young.
Dude,
Yeah.
but Peaky Baka, it wasn't just offensive Peaky Baka. It was the defensive prowess. Dude, he was
He
like
was the best shot blocker in the NBA. For
Yes.
everyone
like
was
2 or
so
3 years.
freaking scared of him
Legitimately,
for
yes.
like
Yeah,
how
Dwight
many
Howard
years?
said he should be the defensive player of the year.
Yeah. He was
3 years.
legitimately
He had 3 really, really good
terrifying.
years. And it was probably 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
God dang it, why couldn't he get it together?
I mean, Jeremy's probably
against
a
Golden State.
Jeremy's more versatile. Certainly, he's more versatile than Ibaka was. Ibaka, he's a big guy. He
He's
couldn't
a
move.
pick and pop 3-point shooter. He
Couldn't
couldn't do
move.
anything else.
Oh,
He could shoot jump shots, but Serge wasn't.
He could dunk too. The dude was in the
That-
dunk contest.
That was, but I'm saying like he could dunk, but he wasn't going to take anybody off the dribble like Jeremy could do.
no, he
And he-
wasn't.
Serge was historically, and this is not a bad thing, but Serge was not a high basketball IQ guy. And it feels like Grant is getting
That
there.
is so mean.
I just don't think he was. We always talked about that
Hey,
whenever he was
you're-
here.
That was like the number one thing we said about
Like, Serge doesn't know how to pass the ball.
How
Like
dare
we would
you.
say that. From
He
time
was
to time.
so bad at passing.
So here's the thing. He was an elite jump shooter when he was here,
elite.
yes.
and an elite shot blocker.
Yeah.
when he was here, changed the game on both ends. I don't know that Jeremy's like he's much better at a lot of things.
Yeah, but he's not elite.
But he's
at
not
any
an
two things.
elite shot blocker.
That's a good
Mhm.
word.
He's a good shot blocker, but he's a decent jump shooter, but he's not elite at either one. Like
Mhm.
Ibaka at the top of the key was automatic.
Yeah.
That's
mean,
the truth.
He helped Russell Westbrook's development tremendously.
Like I said, though, that was 6 years later in his career than what Jeremy is right now.
yeah, and yeah, I'm just saying, like, if we could have that player, I think that you would choose that player.
Yeah, the question is current Jeremy Grant or
Gosh,
Peaky
man.
Baka. Peaky Baka.
Peaky Baka.
I really liked Peaky Baka,
I'm saying
like
Peaky Baka too. And
and I like Jeremy.
you.
how quickly Ibaka developed different parts of his game. Those first like 5
Yeah,
years
man.
was insane.
It was.
insane.
Well, and you'll never forget 2012 NBA Finals. If
Yeah.
they start Serge Ibaka at center instead of Kirk Perkins,
Who are
Kurt
you?
Perkins.
Why do I got to talk to you?
Why do I gotta
grow
talk
up,
Exactly.
Jay.
Grow up. Yeah, you grow up.
Grow up. Yeah, you grow up.
All right, next question from @Fluky. What?
And if I could have a player moving forward, I think that you take Jeremy Grant. I like Jeremy Grant's future because, and the Thunder, this is something people don't talk about a ton, is the Thunder got out from Ibaka at the exact right time.
They nailed it.
Because people were thinking after he got traded from the Thunder, oh man, what could he be for the Magic? Blah, 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 blah,
Finally,
blah, blah.
Serge can have a team by himself. It's like,
Man.
for what?
And then he got
We
traded.
watched him play. Like, he is a great third guy.
Then he got traded for Terrence Ross like 3 months later.
He's had a resurgent season this year.
Yeah. Have the Orlando
Yeah.
Magic murdered and chopped up and dismembered Bismack Biyombo's body yet?
He plays for the Hornets.
Oh, he does.
So, yes,
That's what.
Holy crap, man. 20 mil a year.
2016.
Awesome.
That's insane. That is
Not
like
only did you create the Warriors in 2016, you also created a really overpaid NBA.
Yeah.
and I would say Bismack Biyombo got that money because of Serge Ibaka. I think they saw Bismack and they're like, I think that this is
Orlando,
Serge Ibaka.
and
Let's
Orlando
get him
wanted
tied up now.
both of them. Wanted both of them.
Oh my
So tight.
God, man.
Jay Crowder is
Bismack-
still on a contract making $35 a year, and Bismack Biyombo is making $20.
Bismack has 2 games and it was in the playoffs, right? He has like 2 games in the playoffs where he has 15 rebounds
When he
and
was the
8
backup.
blocks.
Yeah, he was the backup for the Raptors.
Yes, that's what it was. And it's like, oh my, holy
Give-
moly, here
Give
it
him
is.
all the money.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Anyway,
What was it? Oh yeah, Peaky Ibaka was great,
Peaky Ibaka is my number 1.
Peaky Ibaka.
but I love Jeremy Grant. And I think that he's going to be awesome. He's perfect for this team, and not just the player, but the man. Everybody loves him.
Everybody wants
Next question at the PT Pro. Oh, the PT Prophet, the primetime prophet. On a scale of stubbing your toe to stepping on a Lego, how painful is it to listen to Kevin Durant constantly whine about everything while he's in Golden State?
It's not painful for me. It's like joyful.
I totally agree.
He is so unaware of everybody else and other people's thoughts. Because here's the thing, like nobody really asks him about his free agency. Like reporters have not been asking him all the time about his free agency. The reason that he thinks that they are is because
He Googles his name and
he
finds all
scrolls
the
through
articles to
Twitter.
read about it. Yeah.
he's just scrolling through Twitter, and he doesn't. I don't know that he understands the difference between like Stephen A. Smith media and like the beat reporters that are there. Because I think he listens to Stephen A. I think that he, watches all those shows. He definitely does, and he's scrolling through Twitter looking for his name,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's just super mad about everything.
Grow up. Yeah, you grow up.
And that article that Ethan Sherwood-Strauss wrote, there's maybe one part that I thought was unfair. The only part, and he apparently did source this, is the part where he talked about how Durant, making those shots over LeBron James.
He thought he'd be
that
the
he
best
would-
player in 2017.
Thought he'd be vaulted into like the best player, and everybody would laud him for that. And nobody did. He's maybe not the best player on his own team. And so I just think that Kevin he's just in a weird spot, man. He's just in a super weird spot. And Ethan Sherwood-Strauss is really, really benefiting from it at this point.
Oh yeah, you know how many more people just subscribe to the Athletic? To
Oh,
get
that's
his article?
awesome.
Oh my gosh. I know. This was like if KD wants less talk, this was the opposite of what he
Right.
should have done. Like I haven't even been thinking about Kevin Durant. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? At
Right.
all.
Right.
Here's what if he wanted to avoid all this, just talk to the media normally
Yeah.
and just say,
Hey,
If
I'm,
when
I'm not
people
sure
ask
what I'm
you-
going to do this offseason.
no, you don't have to say that. All you have to say is, I'm focused on winning a championship right now with the Warriors.
Next question.
That's all you have to do. All you have to say is, I'm very focused on winning a championship. That's all I'm going to talk to you guys about. I'm not thinking about free agency. That's great.
Yeah,
the Knicks
right.
did whatever, but I'm focused on winning a title and crushing everybody else. That's what I want to do. Instead, he goes 9 days without talking to the media.
and then comes
that
back
generate-
and yells at everybody.
That generates a story. And then from that story, he gets mad and says, I just want to play basketball and just go home. I'm sorry, dude. You are an NBA superstar, and it is literally in your contract that you have to talk to the media. That's a part of being in the NBA. Russell Westbrook does it. He hates it. And it was super awkward last night. Maybe one of the worst media sessions I've ever been a part of.
which is not just
Really?
Russ's fault.
It was not Russ's fault.
Yeah.
This was not a Russell thing. This was the media just completely botching that situation. It was terrible.
Wait. Did I miss this convo?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Dang it.
Off the pod.
I can't wait.
I mean, everybody knows if you watch it, you know. But it was just like all you have to do is talk to the media normally and just say
Mhm.
you want to. And if Kevin had done this the whole time, just saying, like, I'm here to win championships and I'm here to crush whoever is in front of us. Like that's all he has to do. But he's obviously very much considering leaving. And also, if you don't want to talk about your free agency, sign a long-term deal.
Mhm.
Sign a long-term contract.
Mhm.
But if you're the player that if you move, you completely shape the entire industry, it would be irresponsible for reporters not to ask about it and to not make it a story. It would be absolutely irresponsible and the wrong thing to do if it was not put out there that he is considering leaving and going to the Knicks. It would be absolutely irresponsible. And so these guys are just doing their jobs. What Kevin's suggesting they do is not do their jobs and just baby the crap out of him. Like that's it. And I'm sorry, Kevin. No one's going to baby you. You made the situation. You created it by not talking to the media. You created it by not signing a long-term contract. You created it by leaking from whoever's in your crew that you're very interested in going to the Knicks. You created all of this. Every single bit of it he created, and now he's mad. And he looks so dumb. He looks so dumb.
I have a perspective that is it's shifting like the way that I'm seeing these Kevin Durant things, and not in his favor, but more like in a sad way. Because do you remember me telling you about my friend who works for the Mavs, and he was saying how like DeAndre Jordan, like he was saying people will just say, "Hey, DeAndre, turn left," and he won't even see who's telling him, and he just turns left because some of these guys are just trained to just, you obey whatever you see as authority, no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just like see how delusional. I think it's true delusion in Kevin Durant's head. I don't think he's like faking this. I think he really thinks
he's not faking it.
He's not faking it. But I think that it's like if you listen to him on Bill Simmons, like his manager and his guys are kind of like supporting that thought pattern.
He's completely insulated by people that are feeding him these messages,
like structuring his reality. And
without a doubt,
it's not reality,
right?
But I wonder how much is his fault at this point, because I don't think that there's a lot of reason behind this. You know what I mean? I think it's like purely emotional.
It's all his fault. It's all his fault.
I don't know, man. I think he can be like manipulated and pulled in like ways that benefit other people that know how to manipulate people like him.
Yeah, he screwed himself.
Wow. Like in the oneness of like Buddhist way. So like we're all one. So like if I screw you, you actually screwed yourself because we're the same.
No, I just think that Kevin Durant is just real. Like he just is so unaware of like what, and whenever he looks at real his agent or to his mama or to his brother,
right?
Said like, "What do you think about this?" Like, "Oh, that's messed up, man." And then he like gets put back into this alternate reality. I just feel like that's happening over and over and over again, and that's why he acts like he does. He's leaving the Warriors.
Oh, he's definitely leaving. I can't wait till we go back in. The reason that this brings me pleasure is not because of Kevin Durant, but it's like I'm so happy all these Warriors writers and fans who like thought so lowly of us OKC fans about this Kevin Durant stuff. I'm glad that they're seeing this. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, eat crap, you dummies. You think you're so smart and great because Steph Curry's there. I mean, you are, but.
Last question that we have for you is from
Next question.
@G_H38N, and he's asking this: which potential buyout candidate fits the Thunder best? Any buyout guys that you all think the Thunder should move after? I think we talked kind of briefly about Markieff Morris.
Who is Markieff Anderson?
You know some more Markieffs? Okay, so Wes Matthews would have been the ideal guy,
but he immediately signed with the Pacers,
which makes sense.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get
tons
another.
of minutes.
He's trying to get another.
He'll get all the minutes he wants.
So the situation with these buyout guys is that they're all very different. Are these guys looking for a new contract? If they are, they're not really going to sign with the Thunder, or are they looking success? Then maybe the Thunder could get them. Robin Lopez does not make sense for the Thunder.
Nope.
He'll probably go to the Warriors. Wayne Ellington, I think, is the guy that everybody is fixated on. I might be in the minority. I think that Wayne Ellington is like super duper overrated in the minds of a lot of NBA fans, except for the teams that he's been on, and people are like, yeah, he's okay. Would he be nice to have coming off the bench? Sure.
Right.
He's probably better than Abdul Nader. I mean, probably. He's not athletic at all. I mean, like, he doesn't fit like the Thunder mindset at all. So, but if he
are you worried that Alex Abrines will ever be consistent on this team the rest of the year?
Am I worried? I'm not
Yeah.
worried. I just don't think it's going to happen.
That what's going to happen?
That
Wait a second.
Abrines isn't going to play. Why would I be worried about that? I'm not worried about it. I just think that that's a fact. I don't feel worried.
It's a fact that what?
I'm
think confused because of the way I structured the question.
I just don't think he's going to play for the Thunder again.
Alex Abrines.
Oh,
okay. That's what. Okay. Yeah, that's why I would like. Okay, then get Wayne Ellington.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Just shoot her, whatever.
Yeah,
Stick him out there.
But if Wayne Ellington, I mean, the thing you have
Yeah.
to think about is Wayne Ellington, like, he's going to talk to teams that are going to potentially pick him up and say,
Right.
hey, what's my role? So I'm not going to go somewhere and sit on the bench.
Yeah. Does he want to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he can
come
go
to the Thunder where you can play 5 minutes, maybe.
Or you can go to Detroit and play 25 minutes.
Right. Come to Detroit and you can be Reggie Bullock for us.
Exactly.
Bullocks.
Oh, Bollock.
Anybody else out to? I saw a few others.
Markeith Anderson.
We don't know what. I think that's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
I think you're risking chemistry issues potentially because Patterson, not just because of him, but I don't know. I think the team,
and he's a chucker.
I think the team likes who they are. I think the Thunder like who they are. That's why I think another rotational wing guy makes sense. That's why we don't know what the Clippers are going to do. They added a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Are they going to keep Wilson Chandler?
If they keep, those guys are the most intriguing to me, and I just don't know that they're going to buy out any of them.
Yeah.
But they're the most intriguing to me. Wilson Chandler and JaMychal Green.
Yeah.
I think those guys are super interesting. Garrett Temple would be super interesting as
I like
well.
JaMychal Green.
I know we've had a lot of these conversations. Y'all talked about on the Dream Team, but I think Jeff Green is another one that some people think about. Like, so he has a very small contract, and if he goes to the Wizards and says, like, hey, like, can I go play for a team that's trying to do something?
And they're like, Jeff, no, Bradley Beal thinks you're like LeBron James.
Right. Carmelo Anthony.
Nope.
Michael Beasley.
Yes. Bring him to me. This is a guy who doesn't care if he comes off the bench anymore. He's like, he doesn't care, man.
Super cool bees, man.
Super cool bees. Put him on.
Are we serious?
I'm serious.
Andrew.
Of course. I would love to have Michael Beasley. Super cool bees. Ben McLemore.
No.
Zach Randolph.
No.
He's 37.
Yes, just for fun, but no.
37.
He's been living in Memphis all season.
Has he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Marcin Gortat.
Nope.
He's going to. I mean, either him or Rolo are going to the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors have one spot, and like all these guys all their agents are calling the Warriors.
Please.
Like, hey, can we have that spot? Greg Monroe.
No.
I think the guy that is most interesting is Wilson Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most interesting guy to me if he gets bought out because he can play both forward spots. And that's kind of what the Thunder need. So that's the guy. If they have a chance to upgrade that spot, I think that makes the most sense. And I don't think Wilson Chandler is going to come in and mess with chemistry stuff. Markeith is interesting and probably the most talented of all these guys, but I don't trust that dude. You're going to bring him to your team for 2 months. For what?
Right. And I think I still do, and maybe I'm wrong about this. I think they use so they have 2 roster spots left. I think they're going to use one of them on Deontay Burton.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know. I think they like him. It feels like from every indicator we have is they think he's part of potentially the future of this team. Like,
what do you know?
I don't know. I have more doubts about that today
Really?
than I did at the beginning of the season.
I just think they've been using this 45 days. They're going to use as long as they can. Why would they not? They don't need him, and you could save money.
Yeah, they may end up giving him a deal. They need to have 14 guys on the roster anyway, so if they don't get a buyout guy, they'll probably sign him
Just at least for the remainder of the
just
year.
because they have to have that
Right.
spot filled. But I would guess that they'll get somebody.
Man.
But I think that I think you want to have one of those Clipper guys. If you can get one of those guys, Michael Green, Wilson Chandler, Garrett Temple,
Danilo Gallinari.
any of those guys would be great. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Sure,
they
any
would-
of them.
If they could buy him out, that'd be super great.
All right, I got one final question for you, but before I ask it, I want to talk about Oklahoma Shirt Company. Oklahoma Shirt Company is a wonderful collection of people that will take care of any apparel need, any merchandise, marketing need you have. They will hook you up. T-shirts, stickers, hats. What else, Taylor? Bumper stickers,
Shorts.
shorts, purses.
Shirts.
They can monogram stuff, jerseys. They will take care of you.
T-shirts.
Shirts. They're going to hook you up.
Tennis shirts.
The other thing they have that is just a great thing to jump in on is their shirt of the month. If you're in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, or Texas, and you want a themed shirt for your state every single month, shipped to your door,
Shirts.
$10 plus fees and taxes, they will hook you up. Go to oklahomashirtcompany.com. Tell them Down the Dunk sent you. Check them out.
Shirts.
Last question, gentlemen.
T-shirts.
Are you miffed or are you peeved?
Miffed and peeved.
Taylor.
Yeah, this is the second week in a row that I haven't woken up until after the
that's my
podcast.
miffed and peeved too, man.
After the podcast is supposed to start.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to use this time to formally apologize.
What's your alarm clock situation?
I set 4, so I don't know what the deal is. I woke up and I
For
set,
like, how do you set them? That's what I'm asking.
I set
What's the situation?
I go 5:15, 5:20, 5:25, 5:30.
No, like on your phone,
Yeah.
Audible.
I don't know now
Annoying.
because why have I not been waking up? But the thing is,
You have
the
it on
alarms are
silent?
off. I don't think so. So maybe they're like, I need to test this out though, because now it's been 2 weeks in a row.
And I think your
And
alarms
that-
are off.
I think you're right. Like, let's see. Well, I wish I could like choose them. See, I do this. And then I wake up and they're all off. And I wake up from you calling me.
you're doing something wrong.
Something's
You
wrong.
need a different system.
You're right. I need like an actual alarm clock with the bells, with the actual bells on it.
Yeah. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah.
You would for sure wake up.
And it's like,
You
it feels like that.
You would for sure wake up.
And my dogs would just flap out.
Yeah. It'd be good.
But anyway, sorry. That's my miffed and peeved too. I get miffed and peeved at myself, and then I say, don't bring this energy in there. If you're gonna, even if you're gonna be late, go in there light and bubbly, my friend.
I know.
Well, you did a good job.
Thanks. Know that I woke up and I said, when I saw Andrew was calling me and I woke up, I said, gee, damn it. And woke my wife up and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, why are you apologizing? She's like, oh, you're late. And I was like, it's not your fault.
Jay.
Oh.
Jay, are you miffed?
I'm not.
That's good.
I'm miffed about the weather has been odd this week. We had 2 days of fog, but I get yelled at for talking about the weather. You remember those 2 days of fog this week?
Yeah.
It was so foggy.
I don't
Yeah.
remember weather that happened 10 minutes ago, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, you miffed or peeved?
No, I mean, not really. I'm just miffed at people that just get super miffed about the Thunder not making a trade. Or the people that are still saying like, oh, the Thunder just need a shooter. They need one more shooter. Man, the Thunder have been shooting the ball really well. I don't know.
Yeah, I did have that moment where I was at the Magic game and there were these guys behind us, and I'm like, they literally complained the whole time about everybody. Russell Westbrook, I mean, sometimes he's just the worst. And it's like,
Russell Westberger?
why do you follow this team? Like,
Bro,
you hate them.
We're 11 years in here, guys.
It's like if you were like, I love my son, but I hate everything about him.
Gosh, he does not.
Probably that guy actually feels that way about his kid.
Are you kidding me?
It's
How
not-
many guys? You think his dad didn't treat him that way?
That's true. Hurt people.
Yes. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hate sports that they
people,
love.
Hurt people make me angry at Thunder games.
Yes. Hurt people hurt people.
Hey, will you sing for us, man? We missed your song.
Yeah, I got you.
Who are you? Why do I got to talk to you?
I'm sure Kevin Durant's going to love the fact that we've taken. No, he's going to never find out.
You won't find out, but it's super funny.
It is funny.